Where's Jose gonna go? I don't know. Nobody knows. Where's Maria gonna go? Well, that depends on where Jose goes. Yeah.
Now, we're not 100% sure that it's going to spare the eastern seaboard.
And then it's going to be affected by, of all things, Jose.
The 2017 Atlantic hurricane season is quickly becoming notorious for one of the most active seasons on record. It is not over. We still have a third of the way to go.
So here we go.
The weather across the Northeast and the Ohio Valley is unsettled. And then on the East Coast, we have Hurricane Jose
drifting north, but then the trough just drops it and leaves it right there.
Tropical Depression Lee right now sitting out in the open waters of the Atlantic. Powerful Hurricane Maria has made landfall in Dominica in the Leeward Islands.
And there you can see the eye went right over Dominica. Look at that, right over the island.
The devastation there is reported to be mind-boggling. That's a quote.
Here it'll be damaging. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. That's where it's going to be devastating.
Puerto Rico, where authorities warned people to evacuate to just stay alive.
You know, both wind and water are going to be in play here as significant life-threatening hazards from Maria as we go forward.
Look how busy it has been this season.
So all things to keep in mind.
Stay cool.
It's cool.
We've got a video message.
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
Hit the button, baby. This is a Thor News presentation. Thor News presents... Welcome to Asteroid Fight Club. I'm your host, Thor. Today we have...
Maria, another Category 5 storm, unfortunately hitting islands that weren't hit before.
Capable of quite a bit of destruction, very heavy rains, and a significant storm surge.
And so things really bad here. And
this is the first time since 2007 that we've had 2 Category 5 storms in the same season.
How remarkable, too, that the two that we've seen happening so close together in time and so close together in proximity.
It's very rare that we're seeing 2 Category 5 systems coming into the Caribbean islands within 2 weeks of each other.
Here it'll be damaging. Virgin Islands, Puerto Rico. That's where it's going to be devastating.
So right now, Puerto Rico really needs to be on standby. All of these models are making it a direct hit.
This is going to be another major hurricane hitting the area. So Maria's impacts are rainfall, damaging winds, inundated seas, and hindered recovery efforts.
So we're looking at storm surge 7 to 11 feet in the hurricane-warned area, up to 6 to 9 feet across parts of Puerto Rico and the U.S. Virgin Islands. And look at this, over 2 feet of rain is possible in Puerto Rico.
There's also trouble for residents of the U.S. Virgin Islands who are told to abandon their homes and head to shelters. The island's governor has halted all recovery efforts from Hurricane Irma to prepare for Maria's impacts. The French Caribbean territory of Guadeloupe placed all 400,000 residents under a red alert as Maria approached. President Donald Trump has declared a state of emergency in Puerto Rico and the Virgin Islands.
So after Puerto Rico, you're looking at Hispaniola and then the Turks and Caicos.
This is going to bring a lot of rain to these islands, and it's not just Puerto Rico. We could see it through the DR, Turks and Caicos. You could stand to get feet of rain with this storm, along with some devastating winds.
We're very concerned about these areas.
It's going to be one for the record books, folks. By Friday and Saturday, it looks like it's moving out into the open Atlantic.
This looks like it may turn more to the north sooner, and if that's the case, it would spare the eastern seaboard. Now, we're not 100% sure that it's going to spare the eastern seaboard.
And then it's going to be affected by, of all things, Jose. That's going to be part of its steering.
Jose is going to be like an unwelcomed house guest. It just doesn't want to leave.
This is Hurricane Jose, right where it was, and so it's going to make another loop, second loop in its track so far.
But it is lashing the coast, and I mean lashing it.
It's literally throwing a tantrum out here.
Look at the wave heights around Jose right now.
Those waves are radiating outward.
We see this bullseye, about 30 to 40-foot waves.
A huge strip of the East Coast facing some significant waves and also coastal erosion that can get a little pricey for some of the municipalities there.
Jose expecting to make an impact in the southern New England states, Boston, Portland, as well as the New York area, with coastal flooding, sporadic power outages, and travel disruptions, particularly along I-95.
This system is morphing into more of a hybrid and becoming more of a rain and wind event, something like a nor'easter here.
Tropical storm force winds are still possible, so from Long Island all the way out to Cape Cod and Nantucket, we have tropical storm advisories in effect.
And then we'll see the strongest of the winds Tuesday into Wednesday and even Thursday up through the New England area. Boston, you could pick up wind gusts around 60 miles per hour. So here's a look at the models now.
Take a look at the latest track. You're going to be real surprised when you see it.
As it swings out and kind of swings and meanders right out here into the Atlantic.
Notice how close it gets to parts of New England, Cape Cod.
Now it looks like it's going to go by and just kiss Cape Cod and then make a turn to the south as a tropical storm. So
we've been talking about this for over a week.
Slow down and make a bit of a turn to the northeast.
Probably will curve just before making landfall.
But the concern here is as it drifts north, we will see more rough seas as far as high waves, rough surf, of course, with that, with strong rip currents as a big danger out in the water.
This doesn't look like a tropical cyclone at this point.
Late in the week, here's the big picture. A lot of thunderstorms on the Gulf Coast. And here's Jose. It's still out there later in the week off the coast of Cape Cod. I mean, look at this. This is now, tomorrow morning, Thursday morning, Friday, Saturday morning. It's still churning around out there.
We have Jose out here basically causing a ruckus.
Jose is going to become that hurricane, the one that just won't go away.
But it's going to wreak a lot of havoc. And eventually it may get kicked out by this. And this is a big, big problem. We've talked about this for the last couple of days. Maria
is going to put an end to it just like that.
That part of the track, we're not going to carve that in stone, certainly. That's way out there.
But we're not totally out of the woods along the eastern seaboard yet.
It's September, the peak of hurricane season in the Atlantic, and it is busy.
All these different things.
So we got Jose, 18-year-old drunk, loitering in a parking lot, and the parking lot being the eastern seaboard. Nobody really knows what he's going to do. Same goes for Maria. These are crazy days indeed. I suggest everybody on the East Coast plan and prepare for the worst case scenario. And definitely stay aware of these things. Because it's just me, there's 2017 kind of extra super weird. It's like you never know what's going to happen. So everybody calm down, be cool, let's come together and adapt to the weather. Because she's changing, baby. She's changing fast. Is it carbon? Is it the sun? Is it volcanoes? Is it aliens? I don't know. All I know is it don't matter. We're all just going to stand around bicker like children and get nothing done. So come on. What do you say we all evolve together? It's all good thoughts today. That'd be great. You dig? Yeehaw. Peace out and happy new moon. It's like the opposite of a full moon. Oh yeah. I just remembered, I have been super accurate all year. So there's that. Okay. God help us all. We could use a little divine intervention and a few miracles right now. And always, talk to you guys soon. Stay cool.
So here we go again.
If it's happening in a galaxy, then toys all over it. Hurricanes, solar flares, planet X. How humanity's gonna destroy itself at each other's necks. Yeah, I don't know if you know this. No, I don't know if you know this. Oh no, today's the winners, baby. Oh no, today's the one, baby. Oh no, today's the winners, baby. Oh no, today's the one, baby.
Wave after wave.